listening to Jürgen from ACT Computers, and today he'll be talking about computer and internet security.
Yeah, hello. Again, this is Jürgen with ACT Computers, and today we're going to talk about the do's and don'ts of being online and using computers in today's world. I talk about these topics quite a bit with a lot of my customers, and basically we're just going to cover the basics of what to do and what not to do. So we'll get started with that. Nowadays everybody is using the internet for the business or the home. So and without it, we're really pretty much lost, I hate to say. We just want to make sure that what we do is what we want to do, and we don't get any trouble online. So we have a couple of questions and answers prepared, and we're just going to go through that today.
So how should someone stay safe using public Wi-Fi?
It's a very good question. Public Wi-Fi is one of the most popular things to use nowadays. I mean, we all do it, using a notebook to go online at coffee shops, or using even your cell phone to go online. And I always tell people to do a couple of these things. First of all, if you're using a notebook or any PC-based system, even a Macintosh, make sure the first thing that your virus protection is up to date. Make sure also that you turn off file sharing, so you're not sharing out your hard drive to potential people that are trying to get your data. Also very technical now, but make sure you turn on your Windows firewall. That's a very important thing to do. And most importantly, and this is the most basic thing to do, is to make sure you're connecting to the correct Wi-Fi connection. I had it several times where there are several wireless networks around you, and you don't know which one to pick. And you want to make sure you pick the correct one, and not somebody who might be spoofing a wireless network, and you're now connecting to somebody you shouldn't be.
What should you look out for while using search engines?
Well, search engines, as everybody knows, are also just regular businesses. So obviously they are in the business to make money. So I wouldn't just blindly trust search engines all the time. When you do a search nowadays for anything, the first couple hits most likely are going to be the ones that are being sponsored by companies. So if you're looking for something specific, like I give you an example, people are looking for help with their computer and looking for a specific product. And many times the first couple of sponsored hits from the search engines are basically companies that make themselves look like the real deal, but they're not really the real deal. And they're really just after getting your credit card or connecting remotely to your machine and trying to get you business, whether it be legit or maybe it's not a real company. So I would really watch out. And if you're doing any kind of online searching, just go through a couple of the search engine results. Don't just pick the first one, because most likely it won't be the one you're looking for.
So when you're using a mobile device like a tablet or your phone, what are some ways you can stay safe using those?
Well, first thing I say to everybody is make sure you lock your phone. Every phone nowadays you can lock up with a password. Obviously, don't use something like 1234 or password. That's the first thing people try to use. Also, because our phones nowadays have so much information on them, and they're basically becoming our day-to-day notebooks or PCs, you want to make sure you protect that as much as you can. Every phone nowadays has a service built in that allows you to find your phone in case you lose it. You lose it in a public place, you can't find your phone. Also, when you're panicking, many times you can actually connect to your phone using a PC and shut it down, unlock it, or wipe it out, so that if your phone does get lost, your data is safe. Also, I recommend that you once in a while back up your phone to your computer or to an online service, because nowadays we use our phones to take photos and videos all day long, and many people, I hate to say, don't back it up, and then once it gets lost, that you can't get it back.
So what's a common way most people would get a virus on their computer?
Well, that's a question I get many times: is how do I get this infection? How do I get that? And most of the time, it's because people go to websites they shouldn't be going to, mainly to free websites, free games, free utilities, free screensavers. Many times free is not actually free. It costs more money than you think. Obviously, also opening emails from friends with attachments on them that might not be your friends. You might get something. That's a pretty common thing. And also, many times your virus protection that comes with your PC is only good for 3 to 6 months. You need to make sure you subscribe that and keep your virus protection up to date. Your virus protection will not learn anything new if it's not learning anything from the companies.
I have another question regarding the smartphones. Is it possible to get a virus on a smartphone?
On certain phones, there are little things you can download by accident that will basically lock up your phone and stuff like that. But in generally, phones are not that susceptible to any viruses.
Okay.
Of course, as they get more popular, which they have been going, and they're getting more complex, I'm pretty sure there's more something coming out in the future.
So if someone downloads a program on their PC that says it'll speed up their computer and internet, should they trust those?
Well, generally I say no. I've been doing my research, and a lot of these programs that promise to make your machine run faster actually don't make it run faster. A lot of these registry cleaning programs, as they advertise, just don't work. You have to be careful with these programs because many times they take out vital information from your machine's registry, from your system, that your computer needs in the future. So all of a sudden you might find that certain programs don't work a couple of weeks from now. So be very careful with that. Also make sure that if somebody calls you to do a remote connection to your machine to help you with something, that you know that company. That's a reputable company. And of course, don't give out your credit card information. I think we all know that.
So if someone comes to you and says, I got a call from Microsoft, and they said, I have a problem with my computer.
Yeah.
Does Microsoft call? I don't think they call people, do they?
I know they actually do not. Microsoft really does not know what's going on in your computer, and they don't call out consumers or businesses saying there's something wrong with their equipment. That's a scam, and if you just ask them to get the number and call them back, you'll realize that. Just make sure you don't follow the instructions, and you just hang up on them. And they're just using big names to get your attention, saying there's something wrong, and some people just go for that.
So if I think I have a virus or like spyware that's crippling my PC, what should I do? How should I go about it?
Well, it's the most simplest thing you can do for yourself. If you think you have a virus on your computer, first thing you want to do is unplug it from the source. Unplug it from the internet, turn it off, so the situation under control, that nothing else is going to happen. So it sounds very simple, but that's the first thing you want to do. You don't want to keep using the machine once you think there's something on it. That's the worst thing to do. Several technical things we can get into. Obviously, you can reboot the machine in safe mode and get it running like that. But I think we have to go to a commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Storage, located on 4th Street just west of US 1 in Vero, provides clean, friendly, and convenient personal or business storage with short-term leases to fit your needs. Access available 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day. Storall has every size available in air-conditioned or drive-up units with prices starting at just $31. Get the clutter out. Bring it to Storall at 654th Street in Vero Beach. Call 1-877-STORALL. Mention this ad and get 1 month and a free lock with each rental.
Dreaming about customizing or accessorizing your auto or truck? Well, stop dreaming. Get on over to Atlantic Auto Trim, Glass, and Upholstery. We have truck bed covers, caps, toolboxes, running boards, HomeLink, backup cameras from all the big names like Weston, Undercover, Tuxedo, and many more. From convertible tops, custom and leather interiors, carpet or headliners, check out Atlantic Auto Trim and Glass. We have the best service, the best prices, and we also do canvas, upholstery, and awnings. Stop by our showroom at 1005 12th Street, Vero Beach, or on the web at AtlanticAutoTrim.com.
It's a 139-mile ride from Vero Beach to Miami, or a 600-calorie cycle to Miami in Christie's new state-of-the-art Miami-inspired cycle studio. The studio features 25 German-engineered bikes, stadium seating, and constantly changing LED lights to set the tone of the ride. Come ride Miami in Vero Beach. Celebrate the opening of the new cycle studio with a free ride. For your free cycle pass, visit ChristiesFamilyFitness.com and download your pass today. Experience the latest trend in cycling at Christie's.
Yeah, this is Jürgen again with ACT Computers, and today we're talking about computer security and how to prevent problems on your machine. And we were just talking about basically once you get something on your computer, a virus, and it's corrupting your PC, what should you do? First thing, like I said earlier, is make sure you unplug the computer from the source, from the internet, or just turn it off. Sounds very basic, but it's the first thing you should really do. Second thing, you can try to fix it yourself. There are lots of things we can try ourselves before bringing it to somebody. Try to rebooting the machine in safe mode and try running a system restore. If that works out, even though you think it might have fixed the problem, and don't completely trust it, I would still run a full virus scan afterwards to make sure it's really clean. There's lots of things you can try. Obviously, if nothing helps, and it's just getting worse, do contact a professional like ourselves, ACT Computers, and we can clean that up for you and make it work properly. The worst thing you can do on a computer that has something on it, like spyware, malware, viruses, is just keep on using it. Using it for banking, online banking, or purposes, because you never know what's on there. Somebody might be tracking your keystrokes and getting your passwords. So very important to stop using it as soon as you find there's something wrong.
So how can I protect my PC and my personal information?
Well, how to prevent problems? Well, first thing I say again, and I keep on repeating this many, many times, is keep your virus protection up to date. Like I said earlier, a lot of PCs are being sold with trial software of virus protections that are only good for a couple of months or even a couple of weeks, and then they expire, and many people don't reactivate the software and pay for the updates. And it's very important to do so because the virus protection software will not know about the newest threats that are coming out if it's not being updated. So an old virus scanner is no good. Also, another thing I was going to mention, I've seen it many times where people try to install more than one virus scanner on the machine and think it's better. Having more than one virus protection software actually cripples your machine because now you actually have two programs trying to fight each other for the scan on your machine. Never recommend it. Boil it down to one virus protection software only. Also, how to prevent problems. Make sure you back up your data. Nowadays, it's so simple to back up your data to a USB drive, USB thumbstick. There's just no excuse anymore. Back when I started with computers, we had 8-inch floppy disks. It was hard to back up, and there was really a lot of stuff to do to back up. Nowadays, you can set it to be automatic, schedule it at night. It's just a very simple thing to do, and once you have the routine of it, you're much safer. Because things fail all the time. Also, you want to make sure you upgrade your computer's operating system. I personally like Windows XP. I think, like everybody else, it's one of the best operating systems around. Problem is, it's now getting to be almost 13 years old, and it is being discontinued next year in April. When it comes to the updates, you will no longer get any updates from Microsoft to keep your machine safe online. That doesn't mean your XP machine will stop working. I just wouldn't recommend using it on the internet. So definitely think about either replacing the machine or upgrading your machine to Windows 7 if it's capable of doing that. If you get a new machine, it's either now in Windows 7 or Windows 8. A lot of people are still going to Windows 7. Next thing I was going to suggest also is just online. Make sure you use different passwords for all your different logins. I mean, there's so many different websites nowadays you can go to and log in and do certain things. Make sure you use a different password for all your websites. I know it's difficult. It's kind of hard to keep track of these things, but in the end, it will save you because you don't want to use the same password all over the place. If one website gets hacked with your password, they have your password for all the other websites you went to. And finally, the last thing I was going to say is if you're using your work computer for home and you have somebody else working on the machine, make sure that it's locked down. I see it many times where a work computer is being used by kids, and kids download programs and games and stuff like that. You want to maybe think about buying a gaming system or something like that, and keep your work computer separate from anybody else using it. Because you'll be surprised once you get back and you get free downloads on there and games, and all of a sudden your machine doesn't work.
So let's move on from computer security and safety. And would you like to talk about Windows 8 a little bit and how that works?
Yeah, sure. We have some time left. I'll address that. Actually, we are having a free seminar coming up in our store. That's coming up about on the 11th of December at 6:30 to 8. We'll be talking about Windows 8 and all its new options and features it has. It's a free seminar. Everybody can attend. They just need to RSVP to us in our email. Our email address is info@actcomp.us, ACTCOMP.us. And phone number is 567-7888. Basically, Windows 8, is a good operating system. Many people write it off as being the next Vista, which Vista really wasn't good. But it is a good operating system. You need to give it a try. Many people shy away from it because it is dramatically different. I have to agree with that. When you first start using it, it's a shocker because your start menu is missing. You click on things that are not there, and it gets frustrating. So you kind of have to think differently. It really is designed to be the operating system that runs across all different platforms. So they want to make the same look on the Windows Phone, on your Xbox, and on your PC. So it's all the same type of interface. Once you get used to it, it actually does work pretty well. It does make sense. Now, it is primarily designed for touchscreens. So for office work, most likely you'll be using the regular desktop interface again instead of using the Metro interface, which is the one that has all the big boxes on it. But it definitely works. And we've had many customers who were very skeptical about it, but if you give it like half an hour to an hour and actually start using it, you'll realize, hey, there's lots of things about it that are actually quite nice. To give an example, when it comes to saving your data online in the Microsoft Cloud Service, they've really done a phenomenal job of that. If you were able to pick up the same email and the same information on your tablet as on your PC, and you don't have to run back and forth and compare things. That is really a phenomenal service. Backing up your photos and stuff like that. That is a whole lot better than what Windows 7 has to offer. And it's also very stable. It's very fast. We noticed a big increase in speed with Windows 8 on a lot of computers. Now, I would not recommend upgrading an older machine to Windows 8. So if you have a Windows XP machine, there's no point of upgrading to Windows 8. Just look for a computer. But if you have a Windows 7 machine, think about upgrading to 8. It might surprise you. Just give it a chance. Like I said, Windows 7 sales are still higher than Windows 8 because people just don't give it a shot. Really, lots of nice features. Also, the backup feature of Windows 8 is fantastic. When it comes to backing up your data to an external drive, very simple. You don't have to be a technical guru to get things working. And they kind of designed it like that so that, they take the technical aspect out of the operating system. Of course, there are many versions of Windows out there. You have to be careful with that. There's Windows 8, and there's Windows 8 RT, which is the version that runs on some of the tablets. Now, Windows 8 RT is not what I would recommend if you buy a tablet. You want to look for a tablet that has Windows 8 Professional on it. Meaning the difference is you can actually run your programs on the tablet. The Windows 8 RT only allows you to run the applications that you download from the Microsoft Store. So if you're trying to load your version of Quicken or Word or QuickBooks on a Windows 8 RT tablet, it will not let you. It just cannot run it. So make sure you always ask for Windows 8 Professional. That's really what you want to end up with.
I have a quick question for you. If you have a Windows 7 PC or laptop and you want to just upgrade it to Windows 8, what's the price? What's the price for that?
Typically, the upgrade to there are many different sometimes coupons around for that. But if you're going from Windows 7 to Windows 8 for the operating system, you're looking at about $100.
Okay.
And the nice thing about that is you actually get to keep your programs installed, so it's not a complete wipe and reload.
Okay.
And you don't have to start all over again.
How does this cloud system work? Is that safe, or is that it stores it on the internet? I'm not sure how this works.
Well, cloud is really just a fancy name for internet. They just came up with some name that sounds fantastic, and they're actually thinking about changing the name to something else again. But it's very safe. I mean, it's also up to you to make, like I said earlier, make sure your password is something complex and upper lowercase characters. And nowadays, when you sign up for a cloud service, like for Microsoft Cloud Service, and you back up your pictures, like Microsoft SkyDrive, that's what they call it. When you sign up for an account, they make sure it is safe. So they won't let you type in a password that's too simple. It will actually tell you, this password is too simple, try something else. It has to be at least this complex. So, I mean, I've been using the cloud for a long time, and everybody has been using if you've been using webmail, you've been using the cloud. So that's really all what it's about. So don't let that term cloud scare you. It's just internet. It's just internet storage.
And you don't have to pay for that, do you?
No. I mean, depending how much data you use.
Okay.
Normally, you get a certain amount of space online for free with the operating system or the product, which most of the time is just enough for daily use. Unless you really want to store all your pictures and all your videos online, then obviously you'll be having to pay extra. But that's the same for any company. They just, that's how they make their revenue. More data, you have to pay more.
So what's your personal opinion on the new notebooks it's like a laptop that turns into a tablet? What do you think about those?
Well, it's a great device. I mean, they're getting much more popular nowadays. We're talking about notebooks that turn into tablets and vice versa, and devices that can be basically everything in one without having to have a full desktop anymore. Those are great. Definitely would recommend one of those. Just make sure it has Windows 8 Professional on it. And most important, what a lot of people forget nowadays, is make sure the keyboard is good. Keyboard on these devices can be sometimes pretty cheaply made, and you don't want something you can actually type on properly.
Yeah, a lot of them look kind of flimsy. Is there an affordable one that's really good?
We normally recommend Lenovo products, like a Lenovo Twist. That would be something I would recommend. But just with everything in life, just don't spend some more money on it, because at the end, it will pay off. You don't want something too cheap that will break on you. Well, thank you again for listening to me. I hope everybody enjoyed that. Again, this was Jürgen with ACT Computers. We are located at 1525 US 1, now in the Kmart Plaza. We do computer repair, and we build PCs. Phone number is 567-7888. And if you want your computer repaired by a professional, give us a try.